Travis Wayne Goodsell. It's a beautiful day to be doing videos. Unfortunately, there are Mormons who are not thinking the same thing. It's not Monday. It's a rainy day and Saturday. So it's awesome. However, there's some Mormon calling himself the Skitzo Show. He has a video where he does drop the camera, whatever he's doing. Anyway, he dares to challenge me to a battle of wits. I have no choice but to ban him from my channel because he's abusive, a bully. And as a Mormon, he's been incited by the church to be a bully and abusive and commit hate crimes. So we're going to go over his comment, not his video. And yeah, what he did though was a bit rude. The manner in which he did it. He commented on someone else who I allowed through simply because of the vagueness, even though there's an underlining mocking in it. But I made a comment, and that person from a week, well, it's 2 weeks. Well, maybe it could have been a week when they commented. Who commented a week ago. And you must understand, I'm like a lawyer. You never ask a question that you don't already know the answer to, because you don't want your witness or the other witness for the other party to surprise you and ruin your whole case. So, yeah, I do not accept your abusive video or comment without already knowing the end result. And so I've got a 100% record of shutting down Mormons that I allow their comment to proceed as I follow up with my reply. That should tell Mormons something. You know, I've had bullies tell me that because I'm banning people, that I'm not allowing free speech. You do not have the free speech to hate. I'm sorry, it's wrong. It's a crime. Hate speech is a crime. And you do not get to do it, despite YouTube allowing it. But they've put in some changes to allow me to censor people or ban people that make an inappropriate statement. And there have been some where I don't show you just because it's personal material, just between the two of us. So, yeah, I hold all comments for those reasons. And so, yeah, bullies love to bully and demand that they get their way to bully you. That they're the victims. That they're the snowflakes if they don't get to bully you. Wow. So the Skitzo Show is his name. And looks like I have to deal with the program first. So we'll get into Skitzo's show and the naming of that for his selection. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Take it over. Stop in the name of love. I wonder why Diana Ross seems to be the only one who made it big. Why didn't the other two girls make it big? Because the Supremes were big, huge, ginormous, bigger than the Beatles, who were bigger than Christ. And then they fell from grace. But, yeah, tragedy, shot in the back, very sad. Alright, so Skitzo. Skitzo is the abusive term for schizophrenic, which is the term given by psychologists for a fake mental illness. There's no such thing as schizophrenia. It's a fraud. It is all based on the outward appearance. Psychologists sit people on a couch, they share their feelings to the psychologist, and the psychologist at the end tells them whether they've got a mental illness and need to come back on a regular basis to pay their livelihood. And if they're a psychiatrist, they can then prescribe drugs to alter their behavior. But they never cure anybody, because they're never looking for the cause in the brain. If they were to find the cause, they wouldn't be psychologists. They would be medical doctors who treat Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And so schizophrenia has a long, infamous history of being used to lock up indefinitely political opponents and troublemakers of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Russia's used it. Nazi Germany used it. It's got a very negative past, and psychology still uses it today. They just say, oh, no, we don't want to target a specific group. However, it does not exist. But this guy thinks he's cool and hip, using an abbreviated thing, which is an abusive term, based on a fake diagnosis of psychologists to bully and abuse their clients so that they can make money off of them. So yeah, he thinks he's funny by calling himself the Skitzo Show, and does things with his camera that are supposed to be funny, I guess, or cool and hip. So this is what he said 38 minutes ago, from added to the time I've talked on this video, because the page doesn't keep resetting itself. I have to click refresh. He says the vagueness comes from, and so that's vague. What vagueness? The video he's commenting to is through somebody else's comment, Aaron Evans, rather than commenting his own comment on the comment line provided at the top. He chose instead to think that he was hiding his comment so that I wouldn't find it, and therefore, yeah. But I hold all comments for review. This is why. Because on the old channel, I learned the hard way that some of my supporters were getting attacked and bullied by others through their comment feed. I was not getting any of that notified by YouTube. And so, yeah, this is another reason why I hold all comments for review, so that losers like this don't bully other people. But he's thinking he's being clever through this process by a feed. So anyway, it was the video that's the big video. It's the new hip cool video on my channel. LDS Church to abolish Book of Mormon for April 2021 General Conference. Yeah, it's over 1,000 views. It's in the top top, 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 top. Yeah, it's 1.1K, and so it is now 6 per row, so it's number 8 still, but it's closing in on LDS Bednar calls for the death of Mormons. So many thumbs down on that one. And it was all from his words, and I'm getting blamed for it. Just about 100 left to go. And it'll be number 7 on the top list. And so he's trying to claim that there's vagueness in the... He doesn't type well, he's using his phone, so yeah, it's a whole new language because of all the typing errors. But again, he's probably from the generation of everybody gets a participation award, and so spelling didn't matter anymore. Vagueness comes from you offer of information that you clearly think is correct, since you made the thought. Wow, so much in that. But again, he's using Skitzo, so he's thinking in terms of psychology. I can tell from that first comment, from that first sentence. And so he's claiming I'm vague. Well, the video was pretty short compared to my hour-long videos. This particular video was taken out of the previous video that I did, because I wanted to make sure everybody heard that information from the previous video. So yes, there is a requirement on the viewer of my videos to check to find out if I've got other videos that might help them with a more fuller understanding of the one video they come to. Shocking. You mean I can't put the hour-long introduction video in each and every single video? It just astounds me how people don't think when they bully and abuse. And so he says I'm offering. He's using selected words. And he's saying that I think is correct, since you made the thought. I don't make thoughts. Thoughts are processed in our brain naturally. It's just we get a thought, then we have to do something with it, or we ignore the thought and move on. This is called inspiration, revelation, spiritual witness. But if you just don't do anything with it, yeah. For me, I take my thoughts and I make videos that people put thumbs down on. And so he doesn't quite understand how our human brains work. But that's okay. You know, he gets a trophy for participation. But again, he's saying that I'm not providing truth. He won't say that. He says information that I think is correct. See how he's twisting that? That's a deceptive ploy where he refuses to believe. And so he's now bullying based upon his prejudgment of me. because he's refused to go and check other videos to see what it was I am talking about. And I'll just continue on. I've been in the church 20 plus years. See, again, this shows he's part of the everybody gets a participation trophy award generation. So what? I've been in the church 50 plus years. Is that how we determine who's right and who's wrong? You've been in the church 20 years? Well, I've been in the church 51 years now, as of 3 days ago. See where we go with that? We don't. Time in the church means nothing in a debate. It's what you've done that matters. And this is where he gets skunked. But he claims he did research, like the rest of the people still trusting the church. Really? Then why does every Mormon not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? 51 years, remember? I've done research, like the rest of the people still. No, I haven't. I've actually done research. I just did the video about how my brother pulled the religion card on the University of Michigan to get a PhD. He does not know how to do research. Michigan called him on it for his thesis paper to deny him the PhD. And he instead pulled the religion card. So no. Research is not reading, pondering, and praying. Research is a lot more involved. And when it's the Book of Mormon, oh dear God, there's a lot more than Mormons are being led on that they need to do. Because there's linguistic analysis. You've got to look for contemporary books of the early 1800s or that were available in the early 1800s, which means you might need to go back earlier to say, like, oh, I don't know, the Alphabet Ben Sira of 600 AD and other Kabbalah books. Yeah, there's a lot involved if you're going to do real research on the Book of Mormon. And there are some people who have done some research and they found one thing. You know, like one person found the late war in the Book of Mormon. Good for you guys. There's more. Keep going. And then there's Mormons who think that they've proven the Book of Mormon true, when in reality, no, they've just found yet another book, like the late war. Because that's the late war. John Welsh, he thought that the passages that are contained in the late war were actually proof that the Book of Mormon derived from a Jewish-minded people. It was chiasmus. Oops! I feel bad for his son, though. Man. Alright, anyway. So, yeah. You have no clue how to do a research paper. No Mormon knows how to do a research paper. My brother is proof that BYU still is not teaching you guys how to do research papers. Let's proceed. What you mistake. Oh, he's now judging falsely. Wonder what the scriptures say about someone who makes a false judgment about somebody as your truth. See, he will not admit any legitimacy to anything I said. So he's now calling it my truth. But this is what the church has taught Mormons, to have their own truth through spiritual witness. Yeah, nobody else can know your spiritual witness. No, nobody can. It's yours and yours alone. And therefore it's already wrong. But how do you inform people of that when they think research is to read, ponder, and pray? And then get a spiritual witness, which is a circular reasoning. Is not far from judgment than it is facts. I think what he means by that, because it is kind of confusing, he does have some problems with his phone typing, but I think he's saying that I'm being judgmental in my presentation rather than presenting facts. And again, I've already given an explanation. This video was already under the assumption that my audience has seen those other videos explaining. Then he goes on to say, the Bible and Book of Mormon in some way are coded to tell those who follow how to see the signs and know the time or day as close as possible. I think he's left out the assumption that he's mocking me here, because he's supporting me in the manner in which he just worded that. And he's clearly not supporting me. And so here it is. No one is that correct. Really? Are you sure? Did you get that from reading, pondering, and praying and getting a spiritual witness? And so here he goes with the psychology. We all make best guesses at most. Yeah. Minimize people's understanding of things. This is called gaslighting. Yeah, you didn't really know what you saw. You didn't really see it. You didn't really hear it. You didn't really smell it, taste it, touch it. You know, the senses. No. Nobody's that correct. It's gaslighting. To try to make the LDS Church look like crooks, for that being a sign of evil, is hilarious to me. So again, we got to stop giving participation awards for English grammar class. My God, please. English grammar really needs to be understood. Oh, dear God. Okay, probably do two. I mean, dear God. See, having the church look like crooks, see again, he will not admit the church are crooks. I've done those with other videos. What he's trying to connect is that by my saying that the Book of Mormon is coded and that the church may not have known, and I hope that they didn't, because it's awesome that they now know. Because he's not understanding the lawsuit that I filed against the church. He's missing out on a whole bunch of information. And so he's looking like a dumbass. But the crook part is different. You know, if the church is clueless about doctrine, they're clueless about the Book of Mormon code, they're clueless about how to run a church, who cares? You know, as long as they preach to the Mormons to be good people, who cares? I don't care if they don't know their scriptures. I don't care if they're not smart. I don't care if they're clueless. They just have to be good and preach good. Preach to be good. I be good. I is good. and so he's trying to take me down a rabbit hole to argue a point that is not there, so that I then follow him down the rabbit hole and start arguing about his distraction, that we stray from the main topic, the Church of Crooks, and the information I'm providing is specifically, in this case, about the church and the code in the Book of Mormon. And if you want to know what a sign of evil is, it's the inverted pentagram. Everybody knows that. It's just shared information in the whole world. And so, where do you think it might be at Temple Square? Of the one place where we would hope that it wouldn't be, because if they're a church and they preach good to the Mormons, they preach good. They preach good about being good. They preach well about being good. That's not what I meant either. But yeah, the inverted pentagram is on the temple at Salt Lake. I mean, dear God, what more does a Mormon need to convince them that the church is satanic? What sign are you looking for? Oh, no, the sign of the devil is not proof that the church is satanic. What is then? What is the sign of the devil then to recognize Lucifer's church? Really, what sign is this? What is this mysterious, elusive sign of Lucifer that we are clueless as to what it is to pin it down? I mean, even the Church of Satan uses the same symbol. There is a Church of Satan. They use the inverted pentagram, just like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints uses the pentagram. Do you not think that this Church of Satan knows exactly who the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are? Seriously? Oh, wow. I don't know. They say they're the Church of Jesus Christ, though. Do you not understand? Lucifer lies? That's the whole thing in the scriptures. Lucifer's the liar face, pants on fire. God tells the truth. I mean, how hard is this, Mormons? Dear God. And I'm too far into the video here that the right people are not listening to this. I'm going to have to take this segment out and make this a whole new video. I'm going to do this. Take out video segments. So let's find out where it's at and hope that I don't turn off the video. So it's before 30 minutes. I mean, seriously, guys, don't be dumb, and don't think that I'm just going to fall for your dumbness. My God. So yeah, it's hilarious to me too. And so now he goes into his expert knowledge of the whole history of the Bible world, which was my bachelor's degree. The whole history of biblical past has plenty of fools. Oh, he's calling me a fool. Oh, I think there's a scripture about calling someone a fool. Trying to denounce God's work. See, again, he's assuming the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the only true church on the face of the earth, and that God is in charge of it. That God is in charge of racism. Did you catch that? The Skitzo show, who's going to be banned, but did you catch that? The Skitzo show. I saw your video. I know what you look like. Are you familiar with racism? I'm pretty sure you are. Are you familiar with the church being racist? They're white supremacist. They're racist. In case you didn't know, because you were born after 1978, the church is racist. How's that for a hint? Of their own hypotheses. That's hypothesis. I'm supposed to put hypotheses rather than hypothesis. So again, he's a science denier here. You develop a hypothesis, then you formulate it into a theory test. The reason for a theory test is, like the Book of Mormon says, you can produce the results that we may judge. He doesn't want you to do that process. He doesn't want you to find out the truth because he's a Mormon and they have spiritual witnesses. Their own little reality. Do you see how he's projecting here? He's living his own little reality of spiritual witness, deceived by the church, because he can't identify the sign of Lucifer. Dear God. And he's denying science, which is the process of identifying what is true in reality, the physical reality. This is what the church has done to him and to other Mormons. This is why I'm doing my videos, is to wake you guys up. Because what the church is doing is leading to destruction. They're inciting hate. They're inciting violence. They need to be stopped. And it's very difficult because they're using religion as their shield of armor. He continues, there is always someone like you. Oh, someone like me? Yeah, you're profiling now. You've placed me in a box category by which you judge me, just like a psychologist would, who doesn't see past the lies. You see? He's living in his own little reality. He's not living in reality. Not using science. He's the one who's been lied to, and he's lying to himself. He's tripping me up. I watched this video. Yeah, I got that. It wasn't very long. I figured out how quickly that you're smart in some areas, but not all. Yes, I'm not smart in auto mechanics. I'm not smart in computer programming. I freely admit that. You got me. Oh, and remember. Oh, okay. I'll remember now. Yes, because you're saying so. Everyone a part of something doesn't mean someone not knowing something covers all knowledge levels of people involved. What? I think what he's trying to say is that because I'm Mormon doesn't mean that I know the knowledge of all other Mormons. I think that's what he's trying to say. And again, and he says, ends with, that's normal humanity. He's not understanding science. Because I don't need to know what other Mormons are thinking. I know Mormonism. I present Mormonism on my videos. And it's Mormons who are upset. And so, the reason why? Spiritual witness versus truth. Well, I can't wait to take out this segment. I mean, so please, Mormons, cut it out. Just stop the abuse. How hard is that? Apparently it's too hard. Wah. Wah, snowflake. Wah. See, wah was from my generation. It came from some movie or I'm not sure where. I just know people were using it. Wah. Could have been from SNL. That was popular in my generation. Lots of things came out of SNL from those generations. But I don't know.